Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing really well. So before starting, I will just like to give a brief introduction about myself. Who am I? What is this channel all about? Because I've just recently created this. So my name is Gautam. I'm a qualified chartered accountant and a CFA level 3 candidate. I cleared both my levels, level 1 and level 2 with a 90 plus percentile. Okay, sir. So now let us start with our first capsule revision, that is of equity, market organization and structure. So sir, what is this capsule revision all about? So very high testability topics or very high topics that have a very high probability of coming in the exam. I have condensed and concised them into such revision sessions ranging from 15 minutes to an hour, wherein we are able to understand the concept, remember the concept and solve many questions along the way, so that we are able to get the grip that yes, we have been prepped for the exam. Okay, so this will just not only boost your attention but will also be very handy towards the end, that is towards the examination. So let us get started. So the first topic that we are starting with is equity, uh, market organization and structure. Okay, sir. So before starting, I'll just give a brief introduction about what equity is all about. So equity means or represents ownership. Correct. So when we say that we have purchased equity shares in a company, we are considered to be part owners of the company. Correct. So Kalko, if there are any profits or losses, we would be responsible for the functioning of the company. Okay, sir. So now we have understood what equity is all about. So now coming back, what is equity market? What is equity market organization and structure? So before understanding equity markets and how it is structured, a very important concept is that of a financial system. So what do you mean by a financial system? A financial system is a network of markets and market participants. Market participants. Okay, sir. What do these market and market participants do? They help to transfer assets and risks from one entity to another entity and vice versa. Okay. So what do you mean by a financial system? A financial system is a network of markets and market participants who help to transfer assets and risk from one entity to another. Okay, sir. Now what do you mean by assets? Sir, assets can be of two types. या तो financial assets या real assets. What are financial assets? Financial assets is cash. ठीक है. Real assets are assets that are very tangible in nature. For example, real estate or machinery. ठीक है. So they help to transfer one asset in exchange for another, or this was one was risk, one was asset, and the other is where they help to transfer risk. Is there any example where we are able to transfer risk from one entity to another? Insurance. Insurance is the best example wherein you as an entity go to an insurance provider, that is ICICI Prudential, wherein you agree to pay a set of premium and the bank or the insurance company bears the risk on your behalf. Okay, sir. So what do we mean by a financial system? A financial system is a network of markets and market participants that help to transfer assets risks between one entity to another. Now, who are these market participants? These market participants are nothing but intermediaries. Who are they? These are intermediaries or middlemen that help, that act as connectors between us and the insurance company. ठीक है sir? So who could they be? They could be banks, they could be brokers, they could be insurance companies, they could be security market exchanges. Any person or any place, any person or an entity that helps to transfer, that helps to transfer assets and risks. ठीक है? Let us now understand the formal definition. What does it say? It says कि markets and financial institutions that help to transfer financial assets, real assets, financial risks from one entity to another. ठीक है sir? Did we understand? See, you do not have to recall, you do not have to remember anything. In the sense कि आपको कहीं ये लिखना नहीं है. You do not have a 3-hour exam wherein you are rote memorizing and you are trying to write it down. You just have to understand the concept, what is being shared. ताकि when you revise and re-revise this concept on the day of the exam, you are able to easily recapitulate it. ठीक है? That is the only thought behind the classes. So what is a financial system? A financial system is a network of market and financial intermediaries that help to transfer financial asset, risks and financial and real assets from one entity to another. अब now the question comes कि सर आपने ये तो समझा दिया है what is a financial system, ये तो we have understood, but sir why did you teach us this? Why should we understand what is a financial system? Why do we need a financial system? Good question. और इसका इक्विटी से क्या लेना देना है? We need a financial system to be smart. What do we need a financial system for? To be smart. B means to borrow money. We want to access this financial system so that we can borrow money. As a student, we would want to go for a vacation, है ना? We would want to go for a concert. We would have to pay for student loans, है ना? So that is why here comes the requirement of money. And how can we get access to this money? This is via the financial system. ये हो गया B. S हो गया to save money. Why do we save money? So that जो आज आपका पैसा है, for example you have 10,000 rupees today, आपकी आज 10,000 rupees की requirement नहीं है, but maybe in the future आपको ये requirement पड़े, इसलिए you want to save this so as to safeguard your future by an amount of 10,000 rupees. ठीक है? Third is to manage risk. Manage risk. We did an example of this, that is an insurance company example, the ICICI example, wherein you went to ICICI Prudential and asked for a health insurance. ठीक है sir? In this way you were able to pay money and you were able to get safeguard from the risk. ठीक है? A SM A आ गया. A is to exchange assets. अब now you want to go for a vacation. आपको vacation कहाँ जाना है? सर हम तो जाएंगे US, हमें लॉस एंजलिस जाना है. अब लॉस एंजलिस जाने के लिए वहाँ पे what would you require? You would require dollars. इंडिया में तो रुपीज़ यूज़ होते हैं, है ना? But you would have to convert this into dollars. तो you would go up to a bank or a money exchanger and ask कि सर ये रुपीज़ को कैन यू प्लीज़ कन्वर्ट इनटू डॉलर्स? आर बोथ एसेट्स? यस. So you converted one asset into another. So you exchange one asset for another. So it was only because of this bank, because of the existence of the financial system, wherein you were able to go and exchange one asset for another. फिर आता है R. What do you mean by R? R is to raise capital. The simplest example is आज की डेट में शार्क टैंक. सबने देखा होगा शार्क टैंक. What happens over there? Pitchers come, they pitch their deal with the sharks. And who are sharks? Sharks are nothing but investors who have excess money and who are wanting to invest into the deals of the pitchers. है ना? So this way, by sharing some equity, some part ownership in their company, they are able to raise capital. Did we understand this? And lastly, T, that is to trade. To trade on information. To earn profit. So why would we acquire so much knowledge? Why are we into the process of acquiring knowledge? So that we can use this to generate profit at a later point in time. है ना? The reason why, so that we can trade on information, we can use this information, we can use our brains to research so that we are able to earn a profit. ठीक है sir. So now if we just try to understand why would you want to access the financial system, let us revise it from the notes. Why would you want to access the financial system? एक sir, you would want to borrow money. Second, you would want to save money. Third, you would want to manage risks. How can we manage risks? It is by taking and entering into an insurance contract. Then to exchange one asset into another. यहाँ पे we had taken the example of currency exchange, जहाँ पे we are exchanging rupees for dollars. Then is this would not be risk management, this would be raise capital. है ना? हमने यहाँ पे क्या लिया था? We had taken the Shark Tank वाला example wherein pitchers enter into deals with the sharks so that they are able to raise capital. And thirdly, wherein we use our own brains, our own mind, our own knowledge that we have acquired so that we are able to trade. ठीक है? So this is what is a financial system and why would we want to access a financial system. ठीक है sir, if someone asks you what is a financial system, you just have to understand one thing, that it is a network of market and market intermediaries. What are market intermediaries? They are nothing but market participants that help to transfer three things: financial assets, financial risks and real assets from one entity to another. अब सर हमें ये तो समझ में आ गया है कि okay, this is a financial system, but why would we want to enter into a financial system? Why would we access it? We would access it to be smart. B is to borrow money, S is to save money, M is to manage risks, A is for asset exchange or exchanging it in return for assets, R is to raise capital and T is to trade on information. ठीक है सर, did we understand? अब आ जाता है the next topic, that is what are the role or the functions of a financial system. Financial system actually में करता क्या है? What is its contribution in an economy? So first, it helps in achievement of purposes. What are these purposes? These are nothing but whatever we did right now, to be smart. ठीक है? अब if we just read through एक बारी, what is it? It helps in saving money. People save money today to use it in the future by investing in assets such as deposits, bonds, stocks, expecting a fair return. What does the financial system do? The financial system makes this saving easy, low cost and tradable so that you can purchase instruments, you can purchase and invest into certain securities like bonds, deposits with the banks, so that in the times to come, in the future, you are able to reap the benefits of the amount that you have saved. ठीक है? What is the other purpose? Borrow. People and companies and governments borrow money to spend now, and the financial system helps to connect them with lenders so that helping them manage risks and lower the borrowing cost. है ना? So what do? They act as an intermediary. फिर आता है to raise funds. Companies raise funds by selling ownership or equity and financial system supports them by valuing, regulating, and providing liquid markets for these securities. So unless and until there are liquid markets where there is easy buying and selling of such securities, the financial system would not make a point. ठीक है, फिर आ जाता है risk management, the insurance contract that we had understood. People and firms manage financial risk by entering into contracts like forwards, futures, options, or insurance, making risk transfer easier and cost effective. So they enter into contracts such as insurance contracts. These contracts, which are of the names forwards, futures, and options, we will delve deeper into classes to come, and we would also have done it in the derivatives reading. ठीक है, so we are able to manage our risk either through derivative contracts or through insurance contracts. फिर आता है to trade on information. They seek to earn profits from analyzing and acting superior information about the future prices, unlike pure investors who trade primarily to move wealth through time. So there's an important concept that comes over here, that is the concept of an investor versus an information motivated trader. Information motivated trader. So who is an investor? Investor is similar to someone who is wanting to save money. But who is an information motivated trader? He is someone who is wanting to earn profits. Earn profits by acquiring knowledge. ठीक है? So this is what has been explained over there. If we take who is an information motivated trader, they seek to earn profits from analyzing and acting on superior information about the future prices. Unlike pure investors, they are not like pure investors. Pure investors just want to save money. They are not like pure investors who trade primarily to move wealth through time. ठीक है? And lastly, asset exchange. Spot market trading involves exchanging assets for immediate delivery, like converting currencies or buying commodities in liquid markets. So the example that we had done, wherein we trade one currency for another, है ना? A similar example is where you go and buy some commodities. What are commodities? Any example of commodities? Precious metals. So where you go to a jewelry shop and you pay money in exchange for gold. This is also a financial system wherein you give one asset in exchange for another. ठीक है? You give one financial asset in exchange for a real asset, for a commodity. ठीक है sir? Did we understand this? So now we have been able to understand what is the first function that a financial system, we have been able to understand what is the role of a financial system. One, that it helps us to be smart. Second, it helps in interest rate discovery. Let us understand now this interest rate discovery. ठीक है? In this, let us take this through an example. I give you two options. One, two. One is where I give you 100 rupees today, and second option is where I give you 100 rupees but after 2 years. What would you like to take? आज 100 rupees या would you want to take 100 rupees after 2 years? सर क्या बात कर रहे हो, हम आज ही 100 rupees लेंगे, कल किसने देखा है, कल क्या ही वैल्यू रहेगी, इन्फ्लेशन इतना हाई है, कल 100 रहेगा भी या नहीं रहेगा, हम आज ही लेके खुश हैं. आप you will take 100 rupees today and you would want to invest, है ना? Any prudent person would want to invest this money ताकि after 2 years जब 100 rupees आप देने वाले हो, मेरे पास 100 प्लस कुछ ऑलरेडी हो मेरे पास. अब वो क्या होगा? दिस वुड बी अ रिटर्न दैट यू वुड एक्सपेक्ट, अ रिटर्न फॉर योर इन्वेस्टमेंट. अब वो रिटर्न कितना हो सकता है, 5% हो सकता है, 10% हो सकता है, 12% हो सकता है, कुछ भी हो सकता है। अब कितना हो सकता है, दिस डिपेंड्स ऑन द डिमांड एंड सप्लाई ऑफ मनी इन द इकोनॉमी। ठीक है, सो इफ वी टेक दिस एज द इकोनॉमी, this is the supply curve, sorry, this is the demand curve and this is the supply curve, and we are taking money. ठीक है सर, money is the point of contact over here that we're talking about. So here wherever it falls, this would be known as the equilibrium interest rate. So how much money would you want today? You would want that much money ताकि this amount, ताकि this percentage gets equated from the demand of money to the supply of money. So if we take two parties, one is savers and the other are borrowers. If the savings rate is too high, तो savers will come and they would want to save more, है ना? अगर interest rate बहुत high है, will the borrowers borrow? Would the borrowers borrow? They won't borrow. At the same time, if the interest rate is way too low, savers would not save, but the borrowers would want to borrow, would want to borrow. So where will the equation come? Where will equality be made? Equality will be where the demand for money is equal to the supply of money. And isse what we will get? We will get the equilibrium interest rate. ठीक है sir, did we understand? So what does the financial system do? The financial system also helps us to understand about this equilibrium interest rate. And how do we get this? This is a comparison from the standpoint of savers versus borrowers. ठीक है सर, ये वाली let us read the notes. क्या कहते हैं notes में? Interest rate discovery. The financial system balances the flow of money from savers to borrowers through the equilibrium interest rate. The rate is the price for moving money through time, that is matching the fund savers want to invest with the funds required by borrowers to carry on projects. This way, the financial system discovers the fair return for moving money through time, adjusting for risk, term and liquidity. So what do you mean by this interest rate? So this interest rate is nothing but is a value. What is this interest rate? Sorry. This is a fair return on your investment. Did we understand this? And lastly, capital allocation efficiency. Now let us understand capital allocation efficiency through an example. Capital allocation efficiency. ठीक है sir. Now for example, I give you 10,000 rupees today. ठीक है, and you have three wants that you want to fulfill. One is you have to buy some books. Second is you're going to buy some clothing. And third is you want to go for a lavish dinner with your friends and families or relatives. ठीक है सर, तो what would you do? Would you go for point A, point B or point C? Take your time. There are no wrong answers to this. I can give you a guarantee. You can either go for point A, that is you go and buy books. Point B, you go and buy some clothes for yourself, some fancy clothes. Or point C, wherein you go for a lavish dinner with your friends and family. अगर आपका आंसर ए था, यू आर वेरी academically inclined, very good. But इसमें there is no prioritization. मतलब there is no wrong answer. It is only prioritization that is important. Prioritization. What do we mean by prioritization? The most valuable and the scarce resource on earth is capital और money. ये भी जो आपको मैंने अमाउंट दिया था 10,000, it was capped to 10,000 ना. If everything can happen in 10,000, nothing better than that. But यहाँ पे ही the capping comes wherein you just have a bar or a limit of 10,000. So it would be most prudent wherein you put this 10,000 to the best possible use. Best possible use today so that you are at ease tomorrow. What do I mean by that? It refers to allocating capital in the best possible way. ठीक है. Why did you say books if someone said books? Because today you feel investing in books, investing in academics, having a set career path will help you earn money more in the future. उससे you will be able to get more clothing. उससे you will be getting more opportunities to go out for dinners. है ना? So the most important thing is where we have a capital crunch or where capital is scarce, the best is to prioritize your wants. Prioritize your wants बोले तो to allocate to the best possible alternative available. ठीक है सर. Let us read this through the notes एक बारी. What do we mean by capital allocation efficiency? The financial system allow companies and governments to raise funds through borrowing and issuing equity. Financial systems are efficient when capital flows to the most productive projects. ठीक है. Accurate market information ensures that scarce capital is allocated wisely, supporting the best investment opportunities. So now the question comes, ये 10,000 अगर आपके पास 10,000 से ज़्यादा होते, अगर आप 10,000 से ज़्यादा होते, you would have been able to prioritize all these wants. But the fact that 10,000 is limited, we are able to understand that capital is scarce and it should go to the best possible use. ठीक है. So this is what I wanted to share today. We were able to understand interest rate discovery as well as capital allocation. So just a quick recap of what we did today. We understood what is a financial system, why do we access a financial system, or what is the premise or the basis of having a financial system. अब एक फाइनेंशियल सिस्टम तो बन गया, उसके फंक्शंस क्या होते हैं? इट हेल्प्स इन अचीविंग आवर पर्पसेस. व्हाट आर द पर्पसेस? वी वांट टू बी स्मार्ट, बी बोरो मनी, सेव मनी, manage risks, mitigate risk, manage risk, asset exchange. R is to raise capital and T is to trade on information. Next, it helps in interest rate discovery. What is interest rate discovery? It is that interest rate, the interest rate at equilibrium where the savers are willing to save and borrowers are willing to borrow. ठीक है. And lastly, capital allocation. What is capital allocation? Financial systems are efficient when capital flows to the most productive source, most productive projects. ठीक है. So this was a capsule revision of the first chapter of equity of market organization and structure. This is a very testable topic, very important. जाने से पहले let us do also some questions, I'll suggest. So let us also do some questions. ये रे, I have removed some questions for you already. तो चलो let's practice some questions. First, which of the following is not a function of the financial system? We understood three functions of the financial systems. One was to help achieve purposes, second was interest rate discovery, and third was capital allocation. So I have given a mnemonic to this, that is the CPI. I is interest rate discovery, P is purposes, and C is capital allocation. Which of the following is not a function of the financial system? First, to regulate arbitrage profits, to help the economy achieve allocational efficiency, to facilitate borrowing by businesses to fund current operations. So what do you feel? What is the answer? 1. Which of the following is not a function? Very important to understand, this is a negative statement. A is the answer, to regulate arbitrage profits. Let us see if A is the answer. Okay, these are different answers. Let's not get confused यहाँ पे. The answer of this is A. Then comes, a well-functioning financial system ensures which of the following? Capital flows to its most productive uses, only large corporations get funding, or third, risk is concentrated in one sector. The answer is A. When we have a well-functioning financial system, capital flows to the most productive sources. This talks about capital allocation. Then comes, what is the main reason for people or companies to save money instead of spending it immediately? So why do people save? 1, to increase their spending in the future, to have funds available in the future, or to avoid paying taxes. I shared that we want to save so that we can safeguard our future, है ना? वो 10,000 रुपये वाला एग्जाम्पल. Then comes, how does the financial system encourage saving? अब ये saving हम करते कैसे in the financial system? By creating easily tradable and fairly priced investments instruments, by forcing people to save through laws, by discouraging investment in stocks and bonds. Answer would be option A, by creating easily tradable, fairly priced investment instruments like equity shares. You can invest in deposits, you can invest in bonds. All this is available at a bank counter. And now we go easily, we are able to trade on these securities. Who provides funds to the borrower? This is a very tricky question. Who provides funds to borrowers expecting repayment or compensation in the future? Do only banks provide funds to borrowers? Do banks and other investors provide funds to borrowers, or only the government? Many of us would think A, but A is not the answer. Banks and other investors both provide borrowers. What did we understand? Savers provide money to borrowers. अब सेवर्स में बैंक भी आ सकते हैं. वी टुक द शार्क टैंक एग्जाम्पल, जिसमें इन्वेस्टर्स कौन थे? इन्वेस्टर्स व शार्क्स, है ना? तो आंसर इज बी. फिर आता है, व्हाट डिटर्मिन्स द इक्विलिब्रियम इंटरेस्ट रेट इन अ फाइनेंशियल सिस्टम? द पॉइंट वेयर द एग्रीगेट सप्लाई ऑफ फंड्स इक्वल्स द एग्रीगेट डिमांड फॉर फंड्स. दिस साउंड्स करेक्ट. Second, the average interest rate of all the banks, the rate set by the government without considering supply or demand. Answer is A, where the supply curve cuts the demand curve relating to money, that is the equilibrium interest rate. ठीक है? If the expected rate of return of savings is high, savers will move more money from the present to the future, move less money to the future, or stop saving entirely. What did we understand over here? अगर सेविंग्स का रेट बहुत हाई है, तो सेवर्स विल सेव मोर. ठीक है? सेवर्स विल सेव मोर. So what is the answer? Will move more money from the present to the future. And last, investors carefully study projects because they want to avoid losses and ensure capital is allocated efficiently, or they are required by law to fund all projects equally, or they have unlimited funds and do not care about returns. The answer is A, so that there is optimum capital allocation. ठीक है? ठीक है सर. So this was what I meant. What is a capsule revision? ठीक है? We were able to do market organization and structure, है ना? So we will be coming up with such small sessions wherein we are able to revise highly testable topics, and these questions that we did were very representative of exam type questions. You will find these questions in the CFA core, you will find them in mock exams, and it is not a surprise if you find this in the exam as well. ठीक है? So this is what I wanted to share. I hope you got a lot of value from this video. If you liked, please subscribe to the channel. There are all social media handles given in the description. Do like the video, share it with your friends as much as you can, है ना, so that I can reach out to more people, share my journey, my learnings, है ना, and we are able to ace the exams together. ठीक है, thank you a lot for all your attention for so long. ठीक है, meet you in the next video. Thank you, bye bye.